Do people treat thinner people differently versus larger people? I've been 265 and I've been 130. Yes, you are actually treated as human and looked at as human. People try to ignore you exist when morbidly obese, and when you talk you can tell people have this disgust or awkward air around them, as if, well, you're the elephant in the room. The discomfort from others at your own existence, even if hidden by fake social niceties, is palpable. Yes, I'm a larger person and am definitely treated differently than when I was skinny. Despite being bigger, I'm more invisible now. In America, definitely yes. I have been on both sides of this spectrum. Yes, years ago, I had unintentionally gained 35-40-ish pounds. Prior to that, people were fun-friendly with me. After the weight gain, they were not. When I lost the weight, things changed back to fun-friendly. If they are visibly really obese, yes, I think they are generally treated worse. I've been 260 pounds and 180 pounds. Yes. In my experience, some people, not all obviously, tend to assume that if you're fat, you're stupid, lazy and/or an asshole. Pretty privilege is in fact a thing. Whenever I see a fat person, my mind begins to judge them. My mom was very fatphobic and always made snide comments about people with weight issues, and that voice still lives in my head to this day. I read something on Reddit a while back that really stuck with me. It was an overweight person who said something along the lines of, everybody has a weakness, everybody has some kind of vice. You can walk down the street and there'll be alcoholics, gambling addicts, Instagram addicts, sex addicts, porn addicts, all kinds of people with all kinds of vices. But as a fat person, everyone who looks at me can see instantly what my problem is, and I can't hide it like everyone else can. So now, whenever I see an overweight person, I just think your vice is obvious. Mine aren't. Yes, absolutely. There is great amount of research on this. Being good looking gets you perks literally everywhere. Well, several years ago there was a fairly popular sub called Fat People Hate. Yes, I've been both. Thinner women get treated much differently than big girls. Not sure it's so different with men. Hugely. Unfortunate but true. Yes, even medical professionals who should know better dismiss concerns and blame obesity for everything. Dating, forget it. Job applications hired at a much lower rate. Studies have shown a stranger is far less likely to be kind to you, and finally, it's like the last thing everyone feels comfortable being absolute cunts about. The only time my late mother ever told me she was proud of me was when I was 50 and had gastric bypass and lost 100 pounds. She died when I was 65. Never mind, I was a self-sufficient, intelligent woman who's kind and funny. Still disgusts me when I think about it. My own mother. Yes. You're completely dismissed when you're overweight. My sister had cancer and she dropped weight. She was an obese BMI and dropped to normal, almost underweight BMI. She looked awful and extremely sick due to the cancer. People were complimenting her, saying she looks good and being nicer to her in general, more small talk, more interest in her as a person. They didn't know she had cancer. It really sucks. One compliment was from a family member telling her she should model and asking her what her diet was. I used to be big, 100. Fat phobia is a real thing. It's one of the biggest things I have to contend with after losing the weight. It really affected how I saw the general populace once they were so much nicer, and how much more grace was given to me based solely on appearance. Yep, I was actually treated nicer when I was the unhealthiest level of skinny. Now that I am average with a little mompooch, people are far more rude and dismissive. Fat phobia is systematic, and anyone who says otherwise is either in denial or ignorant. Fat people are always treated worse than skinny people. I'm South Asian and my cousin's little cousin have basically been pushed into EDBC of fat shaming. They weren't even fat. Terrible stuff. Yes, it's disturbing.